Florida, case number 16, 2020, CF 3601B, Division CRE. State of Florida versus Hakeem Robinson. Verdict as to count one. We, the jury, found the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I just hit top about the video, and we're just gonna hop right into it. This should look crazy because my hair look right here. But today we will be talking about Ksoo. So Ksoo is, or aka Hakeem Robinson, one, he's an affiliate to Young and Ace and ATK, and obviously, you know, their most famous rival is a KTA, which is another crew out of Jacksonville. And obviously, we knew they had some beef with Fully. We see how that went down. But that is not what Ksoo has been fighting. So you probably seen all the details, or you probably seen a lot of shit that went into Ksoo's thing because it's been very publicized just because of everything that went down and obviously their publicity with the drill and the music. So basically the breakdown of that. And yeah, so you probably seen that Ksoo was recently on trial for the murder of Lil Buck, aka Charles McCormick. Obviously, you know, there's surveillance video of Ksoo doing this, and all, as well as you see. Well, now I'm not gonna say. Never mind. Well, you can say now because he got convicted, but there's a surveillance video of Ksoo doing this while Lil Buck was leaving a temp agency in January of 2020. So there was a lot to this case, obviously. So you know, obviously we know one from them talking about it that, you know, there were multiple people involved. Well, Lil Scotty got convicted too with Ksoo, so obviously he was at the scene. Lil Scotty, Ksoo, Dominique Barner, who got on the stand, which is one thing I'm talking about later, and obviously his dad. But this was in retaliation for Ksoo's cousin being killed, or direct retaliation. You know, obviously they had some beef going on, so you know, eye for eye comes a lot, but some of this, you know, was drew up, especially the dad getting involved because of Ksoo's cousin getting killed. As well as, you know, we seen very much, you know, this is one of those cases of, I guess you call it self-snitching, as, you know, a lot of times in the drill scene, a lot of rappers, you know, get on and basically, you know, talk about their crimes. You know, one evidence of this was Ksoo, you know, basically saying, you know, kill a nigga and get my toes done, which was brought up various times in the trial.
Kill a nigga, then go get my toes done. Kill a nigga, then go get my toes done. Those are his words.
Then another interesting point about this case is, you know, one, like I said, you have Dominique Barner, who was actually, you know, on the scene, admitted accomplice, who got on the stand and told. So I'll put some of him on the stand in here.
So what happened when Charles McCormick came out?
Well, Hakeem jumped out.
Jumped out of what?
Jumped out of the car.
Was that the plan?
Oh, sir.
All right. How was that different from what the plan was?
Well, I came up with a plan of getting closer to his car, so when he get in the car, he could jump out of the passenger seat and shoot him as soon as he got in his vehicle. I could pull off faster.
And did he wait for Charles McCormick to get closer to his vehicle or get into the vehicle?
No.
What happened after Hakeem jumped out of the Nissan?
Shot at him.
Shot at who?
McCormick.
Did McCormick stay there?
No.
What'd he do?
He ran.
What did Hakeem Robinson do?
Chased him.
And then did what?
Killed him.
Did you see that?
No.
Where did they go?
On the side of the building.
But did you see Hakeem chasing him with the rifle?
Yeah.
Did you hear shots?
Yes, sir.
And after those shots, what did you do?
I went and picked him up.
Picked who up?
And then you fast forward, and then you get his dad, Abdul Robinson, on the stand and testifying against his own son.
Who is the person that was captured on the video recording shooting Charles McCormick?
My son.
What's your son's name?
Hakeem.
After the murder of Charles McCormick, did you become aware of a post on Hakeem Robinson's Instagram account referencing something that happened.
Yes.
And was that posted from a nail salon?
Yes.
And after seeing that post, did you reach out to Hakeem Robinson, your son?
Yes.
And what did you want him to do?
I want him to remove the post.
Are you aware of any other posts Hakeem Robinson made to his social media around that time that concerns you?
Yes.
What was that?
It was another post of dude Lil Buck.
What did you see?
It was just the emojis on the bottom of it that said bye bye bye.
Say it again.
It was the emojis, the hand emojis saying bye bye.
Start with his dad. I don't his dad, I might not put this part in here because it's not really important to what talking about the actual crime, but I'll just talk about it. Now his dad did get on the stand and talk about how, one, he was testifying because he had some health issues, as well as he had some younger children that he wanted to be there for, 6 to 8. So on that part of it, I can see why he would say something like that, because obviously we know now Ksoo has been convicted. So Ksoo, and he has another murder trial to come. But so Ksoo, he's kind of like, his life is kind of over with at this point. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of really over with, even though he's still young. Like, he's my age. I think he's like 21, 22, somewhere like my age basically. So he's still so young, but it's over with. You feel me? He got to go to jail for some time now. We don't really know how much more time, because we don't know how the next trial can go, and he hasn't been sentenced for this one. So I understand, having a 6 and 8-year-old who do need some guidance, who do, obviously, need a father figure in their life. And you can do a better job because you learn from experience with this one. So I understand that part of it. Where shit go wrong with me is because, at one, Abdul Robinson is obviously in the street because, like I said,
You ain't killing pro se myself.
Look, all I know is this, and I'll put this in a question. You claim that the phone that's used by the shooter, that's registered in your name, right? Oh, excuse me, Daryl Watts, right?
Right.
And we'll get to that. You allegedly burn the clothes that Butter had on him, right?
Correct.
You break through the police perimeter to pick up Leroy Whitaker and Barner, right?
Come on, man. You exaggerating, man. It wasn't no police perimeter, none of that. You exaggerating now.
I'm exaggerating that there wasn't drones and helicopters overhead?
How would I know that?
Because you were driving to the location?
And I would see a drone in the air?
So we'll agree. All right, let's say the JSO. We'll let JSO answer the question whether they had a perimeter and they had hundreds of officers trying to find the shooter that was running through neighborhoods.
You really think I would have went through there if I seen all those police and all that? Or a drone and a helicopter and all that? You think I would have went up in there with my car registered in my name?
You don't want me to answer that question. So why don't you stick to answering my questions and not asking me them? It's a life you live, right? You live this life in the streets, right?
Nah.
Or wait, are you telling me that you as the patriot,
as well as Abdul Robinson has actually told before, I think it was in the 90s, he told on somebody else to get a lesser charge and things of that sort. So he has a history of getting on the stand like this to start with. Now, I don't think Ksoo knew that his dad told before to this now, but yes, his dad has told before. So yeah, I just think it kind of goes out the window when you are, when you are a street, you put yourself out there in the streets. I just feel like you have to live by a code. I'm just big about going hard or going home. So if you decide to put yourself out there and live by the code, you got to go by the code. And you telling on your son is not going by the code. You decided to stick your neck out there, and he stuck his neck out there, and he's getting punished for it. Which, I mean, it's sad to say, but you feel me? You supposed to be this street dude that you claim yourself to be, and you not portraying that image. Next, obviously, another interesting point of this case was the 3D imaging. So, if you hadn't seen, they did. I don't know if this was the first time using it. I think this was definitely one of the first times of them using it in Jacksonville, but I don't know how many times they've used this in other cases before. And obviously, it's probably just one of the most a publicized case, so that's why everybody's talking about it. But the 3D shaping, so they took pictures of Ksoo, basically while he was behind bars, of his body and things from different angles. Pause. Basically, so they can use these images and they can line it up with the shooter on camera, because obviously you can't see that it's direct on camera. You can't see his on camera. You can't see that it's Ksoo's face. You just see a gunman, and then you have people telling them things and a lot of things of that sort. So they use that 3D imaging and lined it up. Now, I'm not gonna lie, looking at Ksoo now, I thought he was heavier than the shooter, but then I seen some older photos on him, and it does seem like that was about the size he was. And when they lined up the imaging, obviously, it looked, pretty spot on. I just thought at the time, like, at least while he was behind bars, he's a little heavier than he used to be. So I thought that threw me off a little bit, but they talked about that as well, one of the investigators.
34, 35, and let's go quicker. Are these essentially just the 28 still?
Yeah, this is the way we confirm that the model matches the object that we're trying to model in the 3D point cloud.
As they were under the stress of the moment, were calling out over the radio the height and the weight of the person that they saw, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't just one. It wasn't just Officer Collins. There was another officer, Graham, right?
I vaguely remember, yes.
They both gave descriptions of the person that them as seasoned officers saw with their own eyes, right?
Yes.
You also have the civilians that saw the shooting, right?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson's in an interview room. You come into the interview room and he's sitting down, right?
Yes.
You talk to him for a minute. He hasn't stood up yet, right?
I don't know if it was a minute. I think he almost immediately asked to go to the bathroom.
Then he walks out and he goes to the bathroom.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Is that correct? I wasn't.
That's accurate, yes.
As he's walking back in, this is the first time he's standing up, you make a comment, "You're a lot bigger than I thought you'd be."
Yes.
Right?
I said yes.
Not, "You're the exact same size of the shooter that I've been investigating." Either consciously or subconsciously, you say, "You're bigger than I thought you'd be." Right?
I've already answered this, but yes.
Please answer it again. They're not objecting. You don't get to make that choice.
Yes.
All right. Now, it wasn't just about his weight, was it?
It was about his weight.
And why didn't you say it before he stood up?
I vaguely remember being in that room briefly. I don't think we made too many comments to each other.
If I'm sitting down, you can tell from my face, from my body, you can tell if I'm wide-shouldered, right? You can't tell my height until I stand up.
At that point, I don't remember looking at his body. I was looking at his face, and then I think he asked to go to the bathroom. And then as he comes back from the bathroom, that's when I make the comment.
Now, another thing with this trial that's interesting, Ksoo, one, they never found a murder weapon. So murder weapon, motives, and things like that are usually kind of like baseline to trying to solve a murder case and things of that sort. So we obviously had a motive. I already told y'all the motive, the cousin and, them being in rival gangs and things of that sort. But, and I forgot to say this part of the motive, Lil Buck also publicly, dissed his cousin and things of that sort. So.
Circle small like a Cheerio. Homeboy died on his birthday, 23, ain't here no more. Caught that nigga at the light. Y'all caught when folk took him on Whitley. Quack out screaming out for help. Head shot instantly. It ain't no fair in me.
That's really, I guess you could say, all the big details for this trial and how it has happened. So, Ksoo, obviously, like I said, has been convicted. His sentencing will be obviously later this year. it said they have some type. I forgot what she said. Damn, I'm blanking on it. But basically, it's some with another trial and things of that sort. So the sentencing that for this one has to be, outside of 30 days. So it's at least going to be a month before we know what, Ksoo is basically getting sentenced for. I mean, how long Ksoo is getting sentenced for. But like I said, this was for the trial of Lil Buck, aka Charles McCormick. We have another trial coming up for Bibby. And if you are familiar with the Jacksonville drill scene, then you understand that Bibby was basically, he was like the Tuka of the Tuka of Jacksonville. Now, I'm not saying that in the sense, because a lot of people say Tuka wasn't really in the street like that for real, and things. He was kind of young and innocent. Well, he wasn't. He just had a couple of feelings. He was friends with some people, all that. But with Bibby, seen more in the street. But they kind of, what I mean by that is like the name. You know how people just use Tuka, like some niggas use Tuka, like just. Even if they are not, beefing with 63rd and things, they just use Tuka as, as for weed and like they smoking and shit. I'm smoking Tuka and shit like that. And it's become a worldwide thing because, Tuka's rivals kind of, became the bigger artists out of Chicago. So that's what I mean. And you see in a lot of songs and things of that sort, if you dive into Jacksonville drill, Bibby getting dissed and things of that sort. So this is definitely going to be one that I think the evidence is going to get in where I don't know exactly the physical evidence they have against Ksoo at the moment, but as far as them referencing song lyrics and social media posts and things of that sort and dissing, I think this will have even more of that in that trial. So in all honesty, he's cooked. I'm sorry. I mean, he's already got convicted for one, so he's at least going to have. We don't know what his sentencing is, but I'm pretty sure it's like capital murder. So capital murder, I'm pretty sure, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm looking it up right now, but Florida definitely has the death penalty. I mean, it's Florida. Yeah, Florida got a death penalty. So Florida, obviously capital murder thing. That's so especially you get two. He probably gonna be sitting on death row if we're being honest. So, and he took it to trial for both. So yeah, it ain't looking good. Yeah, it ain't looking good, brother. It's really all I gotta say though. Like, share, subscribe, comment. IG TikTok bottom the video, and we up.